Hello, my friends. Well, we thought we were going to get a big snowstorm, and we got a good rainstorm. I hope you were able to enjoy the weekend despite the coldness. I hope you're able to kind of hunker in and just take a deep breath. Sometimes God provides those moments where life just can slow down for a moment. I'm so grateful for our vestry and our leadership team and our staff. We met on Saturday, and we had a great retreat. And more importantly, we just kind of wanted to own what it meant to be leaders of this church, leaders of the gospel in this day and age, and particularly around the mission of St. Thomas. And this coming Sunday at annual meeting, we invite you to come and be part of that. And more importantly, participate in helping us articulate for the year ahead and possibly for the next couple of years, how is God calling us to live faithfully to building greater community impact, greater spirituality, greater inclusivity, and then lastly, how to live into being a tithing church. That is, how do we live to be disciples of Jesus Christ with our time, talent, and our treasure. And so we want to hear your voice. I want to hear your voice. And we'll pull all that together as we've done before in the past at this church. And then we'll pull that together. And then we believe that God will speak through our collective hearts, not through one heart, but through our collective hearts. Because St. Thomas has been doing that now faithfully for years, and that's where we are today. All praise be to God. Thank you for giving St. Thomas the opportunity to be your spiritual home at this moment in your life. Amen. Annual meeting is not just hearing your voice. It's a time of celebration for St. Thomas and for any Episcopal church. And so I just invite you to come. To make it very clear, it starts at 10 a.m., not at 9:30, not at 8 a.m., it starts at 10 a.m. And if you'd like to be part of our formation classes, they will be meeting this Sunday from 9:10 to 9:50. That's for children, youth, and adults. And then 9:50, everyone will come into the sanctuary. And then after a slightly abbreviated liturgy, including Eucharist, the children will be invited to go off for programming, and the rest of us will stay in the sanctuary. And then we'll just give all alleluias and all praise to God for a fabulous 2025, of which you and so many other saints are a part of, how we've had such a great year responding to God's call. And we'll elect new leaders, and we will prepare ourselves for 2026. And then lastly, at the end of annual meeting, we give thanks for very specific persons that have just come up in our prayer life, and we want to acknowledge, that I want to acknowledge. And then we go for a feast, a big potluck, and oh my gosh, there's going to be pulled pork and coleslaw, and then all the sides that everyone else is bringing. Come and join the feast this Sunday. I also want to make you aware that we are preparing for the convention. That is when the diocese gets together of all the clergy and the delegates, those are representatives of the parishes, come together to meet with the bishop and do the work of the diocese. And that's coming up in a week and a half. And at that convention, we hear from the bishop, we hear from keynote speakers, but more importantly, we do the same work we do here at annual meeting. We gather in fellowship, we listen to each other's voices, and we try to pay attention to how God is calling us to move forward. One of the things we'll be talking about, of course, is what's happening in our country today and in the world, but specifically what's happening in the streets of Minnesota. And I'm so grateful that Presiding Bishop Rowe on Sunday sent a pastoral letter out, which we reposted on social media, and Bishop Susan Haynes, our bishop, sent her pastoral letter out yesterday, which will be underneath this video for you to read. And both those bishops affirm the Bishop of Minnesota, in particular their work and ministry, to be the hands and feet of Christ. All it is, I make it so simple, don't I? All it is embodying what we make our promises through our baptism in real and tangible terms. This is not about politics, my friends. This is about serving Christ, that is seeing God in every human being. The words we use in the Episcopal Church are respect the dignity of every human being. That we will advocate and fight for liberty and justice for all people. We will see the humanity of God in all people. And that requires action. We're doing a great job of praying, time for action. And so that will be some of the words we'll be talking about. And right now in Minnesota, yeah, they're on the front lines, and I give thanks for their work of trying to love everyone and de-escalate the situation. But it's not easy work. It's messy work. And that is the gospel. It is messy work. Bishop Susan gives us an option by the invitation of the Bishop of Minnesota to do one action step beyond prayer, and that is to support Casa Maria. And that's a ministry in the Diocese of Minnesota that literally collects food for people in need, in particular for immigrants, and brings it to them. Again, this is not about whether they're here legally or illegally. This is about people who just need to be fed. And one thing we know how to do here at St. Thomas is feed people. So if you'd like to make an offering, we welcome you to do so. And I'm sure others of us in the church will make offerings as well. And collectively, as we've done before in this church, remind the rest of the bigger church that we stand in solidarity with them. That is solidarity to be beacons of love in a broken world. In the weeks ahead, we've got a lot of things going on in the church. And you'll see a little bit this here, and you'll see the rest in the e-news on Thursday. I look forward to seeing you this Sunday. If the weather gets in the way, you'll get an email on Saturday. But I look forward to seeing you this Sunday because, darn it, I really want to gather together and celebrate together. Have a great week, and God bless you.